Let's go to K2 Plus as soon as possible.
So, got the mic ready. We're all sorted for qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix. And breathe. So, got the mic ready. We're all sorted for qualifying for the Australian.
It looks like they were about 67 degrees when they came out.
So we've got Oscar. I mean, practice 3 was absolutely horrendously close, wasn't it? Let's have a look. I mean, we've got our live timing there. Let's go to Formula F1. Let's go. I mean, we just need to look at the schedule. We've got the results. Races Australia. So practice 3, as you can see, hopefully. Charles Leclerc fastest, and then, I mean, the top 4 within a 10th. Lewis Hamilton is finally back. We called him a loser, didn't we? We called him a loser, a bit of a loser, for practice 1 and practice 2, trying these extreme setups. Very clearly didn't work. But there we go. He's back just under a 10th faster than George Russell. But the top 11 separated.
Okay, so
by a
Albon
second.
In front in P3 didn't do a prep lap.
I mean,
expected to pull away from this.
Wow. 2 Australians. Wow. Oscar Piastri just 3/10 off. Slightly, comfortably faster than Lando Norris going into qualifying. Absolutely amazing. Got a little driver tracker at the bottom. Let's just try and edit that.
Yes, we'd like to introduce more energy to the front tyres. They've cooled down just a little more than we expected.
Alex Albon out in his car. There are the drivers on the track. I mean, it's not looking bad at all, is it? So still in the pits, we've got Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton. I mean, they're all going to be coming out. All going to be on softs. The track is going to improve a bit. Not as much. It's not going to be. Excuse me. It's no Monaco, to be fair. But still, I think we're still going to see improvements throughout the qualifying session. Big story though. Who's going to get pole? Sky is saying a six. Yeah, that's it. You've heard it here. A 6-way fight for pole. A 6-way fight for pole. I mean, that's just absolutely insane. Closest. I mean, they showed poor Logan Sargent. Was it right for James Vowles to do that? It's really, really mixed opinions. Absolutely mixed opinions in relation to whether it was right for James Vowles to do that. I can't. The plus is, yeah, Albon is faster. The minus is Albon caused it. Albon absolutely caused it. And it's also embarrassing that Williams haven't. And Ted Kravitz completely, I think they've got it all over, completely ruined him. They completely ruined it. I think James Vowles in the interview, to be fair to James Vowles, he made that decision, he stuck by it, and he's put his hands up to it. So I don't know how we can can we really get that annoyed at it? I don't know. I don't think we can. I think it would be a bit mean if we were completely annoyed at it. But there you go. So, Ted Kravitz reporting that the crowd is very happy for James in relation to Logan Sargent giving him a lot of support. I tell you, I've never seen so much support for Logan Sargent. I mean, Alex Albon is out there now. If Alex Albon doesn't score points, I guess they take away the chance of points. Yes, Alex Albon
looking good.
He is Williams' best chance at points, but he's the one that threw it away. He's the one that threw it away. I mean, it's so tough, isn't it? It's tough. Oh, Alex Albon! I'm sky watching it. Nearly lost it coming out. There's that turn 9 and 10, that vicious chicane, that really, really fast left and right. So he's not on a hot plate yet. He's just warming up. Brundle is saying the track is very, very slippery here as well. So, and they're thinking there is going to be improvement throughout the session. Once again, in terms of the available grip on that track with all the cars going over. There's a lot of running. We've had the GP2 race. We've had the F2 race. God, how mid-2000s am I? So, but Alex Albon, that was a 1:18.709. They're saying that is not going to be good enough. And they're just showing the replay and yeah, snap, just like so many people, that snap of like, it appears oversteer coming back out of that chicane. But there we go. So, the time doesn't count. Albon, I mean, he really is, he's potentially the pantomime villain, isn't he? So, but there we go. So we've got, I mean, I think pretty much nearly everyone's out now. Who's still in the pits? It appears that Hamilton, Tsunoda, and Ricciardo are still in the pits. So, but it's But Leclerc has gone faster, as you can see. Leclerc faster than Verstappen.
Have a look because there are a lot of cars
Alex at
doing
3
very hot
seconds.
things.
See, do they have any live timing? Apparently not. Oh. Max is complaining about a lot of understeer. To be fair though. Oh. Perez, Hulkenberg impeding. Oh, it's going to be it's exciting, isn't it? It's most certainly interesting. Let's get back to the timing. I mean, well done, Carlos Sainz. I thought he was a bit silly. I thought maybe he was pushing it a bit too much with that appendix going into it. You don't really want to play with your health, but so far he's held up. It's going to be interesting. A full race round here, which is now a much faster circuit than it was before, because they got rid of that chicane in the middle of the what track session. Nope, I'm looking at the wrong timing. There we go, live timing. So Leclerc fastest, Sainz second, Verstappen in third, complaining about understeer. Could it be that? I mean, could it be that they're struggling a tiny bit with the grip? Who knows? So, okay, after the session, potential impeding between, I think Hulkenberg may have impeded Perez, but let's see. We've still got, I mean, the McLarens, Norris and Piastri not doing too bad. Norris faster than Piastri at the moment.
So not like this again for sure.
Oh, just seen an Alpine brush that. Is it the last corner? I think is it the last corner? Yeah, coming out. That Alpine. I mean, poor Alpine. They're really struggling, aren't they? I do feel a bit sorry for them, if I'm honest. So, a bit sorry for them. Not completely sorry, a tiny bit. I mean, they got rid of Otmar, and then thus began. Okay, looks like we're going to get one of the first big Mercedes. It looks like George Russell. George Russell is out. Red Bull given blue flags. so far, Lewis Hamilton has not managed to beat George Russell in qualifying, the man that has the most poles ever. So Hamilton has had pole here, but interestingly, don't forget that Lewis Hamilton has also been beaten by Valtteri Bottas here as well. So, but at the moment, it's Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton in fifth, about half a second off. Yeah, I mean, and then we've got Norris and Perez. I think if those Mercedes line up on the third row, they're going to be happy. But Norris has just gone into third by about a tenth. Now Piastri's just beaten him as well. I tell you what a grid that would be. Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri, Norris, Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton. I mean, what a top six. I'll take that any day whatsoever. What would be the odds? But who is favourite of pole? You got to go at the moment still with Leclerc and Verstappen, albeit Verstappen, who's just done a purple sector 1, but a very, very average sector 2. Not the worst. Leclerc's gone fastest again in the 17s. You got to wonder whether pole's going to be in the 16s. I don't think it's going to be faster. Alonso's just gone for Alonso on a one. Oh, there you go. Just as I said, pole's definitely going to be the 116. Alonso goes fastest. Verstappen goes second. Alonso fastest. Not one purple sector though. Just an absolutely solid lap. So it would appear. I mean, Mercedes are now ninth. George Russell seems to be really struggling now. It's almost like he's got Lewis Hamilton's setup from yesterday. He's 1.3 seconds off.
4 seconds. Yeah.
It doesn't feel as easy to repeat.
So, but live timing
As
shows
P3.
Alonso.
The grip doesn't
The
feel
Sky
as
feed,
good.
I think is a tiny bit off. But now Sainz is going faster. 16.7. Is pole going to be in the 115s? I mean, oh my gosh, absolutely. So. Nope, it's now Sainz. Sainz, Leclerc, Alonso. Hamilton 9th. Russell currently in the drop zone.
Struggling a bit more with the acceleration.
That's not good at all, is it? That's slightly concerning. You don't really want that, do you? In the drop zone. Let's try and avoid that one, shall we? So. I mean, even Martin Bundle was going about that. That was a cracking lap, from Alonso, who's currently third. Aston Martin have come out from nowhere. I mean, 4th and 5th at the moment for the Red Bull team. Are they struggling? Is this kind of like an outlier like Singapore? It would be great if it was. Once again, we do think they've got the best race pace though. So I don't know so much whether they're going to be struggling that much in the race. But this is really interesting. One of the reasons I think Red Bull have struggled a bit last year to get pole, but were really good in the race, is getting those tyres heat up. It's almost like the opposite of what Haas had. A really good qualifying car, considering the car they had, but it destroyed it. It melted its tyres like chocolate. They may as well have been wearing, they may as well have had chocolate tyres on during the actual race, because it was gone after like laps 3 or 4. But the one good thing that the Red Bull's been able to do is preserve its tyres, and that's particularly the way the Verstappen drives. When we used to know Sergio Perez as the tyre whisperer, but fair play to Verstappen, he's really developed that, and he's really taken the mantle like Lewis Hamilton did at Mercedes in relation to looking
Front
at
brakes just don't really feel like they're working.
1 second off. Russell 1.5 seconds off. That's just not good at all, isn't it? We kind of hoped, when looking at the results for free practice 2, Hamilton could be in with a chance. I think they'll be happy to be on the third row at this rate. I mean, at the moment, is Hamilton's move justified for going to Ferrari? You have to wonder, don't you? I think it is at the moment, because Russell now finally Russell goes 9th, Hamilton 10th.
Very good.
But then Hamilton's just beaten him then on the times. I mean, we've got best part of just over 5-ish minutes left. So Russell's come out on the radio suggesting that the front he's having a few issues with those front brakes. Let's just try and edit this. So it's all a work in progress because I don't normally do live chats. This is like one of the second one after practice one yesterday. The second one I've ever done. So let me know in the comments if you're watching how I'm doing. It's kind of like really nerve wracking, isn't it? So as we're looking at the live timing. So let's have a look. With minutes to go, who's in the drop zone? Who's in the drop zone? Who do we think is going to be struggling? No Logan Sargent. You got to say both Alpines are going to be out. If Albon gets out, he's going to continue his pantomime villain-esque role. But he's now just gone 5th. Wow, Alex Albon gone 5th, faster than Verstappen. Albeit Verstappen, I think he's just done a really solid first sector. Alex Albon in 5th. Hamilton 10th still. Where is Piastri and Norris 7th and 8th? I kind of thought I kind of secretly hoped they'd be a bit faster, but who knows? But yeah, Ricciardo. Oh, Danny Ricciardo. We haven't spoken about him. He is currently 17th in the drop zone. He is 0.3 off Yuki Tsunoda. If he gets out qualified again in his home race, that is not going to be good. It's kind of like the rot is setting in for Ricciardo's career. It's basically McLaren version 2 at the moment. Dare I say, when he came back to Mexico, when he might have not been 100%, he was a lot better than he is now. So, but let's see, shall we? Who's done the most laps? 9th. But Alex Albon 6th. Is he going to go from pantomime villain that's stolen Logan's car to hero? If he gets in Q3, absolutely. 2 minutes left. We've got a 2 minute warning. Current top 10 are currently Sainz, Perez, Verstappen, Leclerc, Alonso, Albon. So far the biggest surprise of qualifying. Piastri, Norris, Stroll, Hamilton in 10th, and then Russell 11th, Tsunoda 12th, 13th Magnussen, 14th Bottas, 15th Gasly, kind of way you expected him, Hulkenberg in 16th, 17th Ricardo. Really, he should be getting out. He should be getting out.
What are we doing? We're going to push. We're going to push this lap.
18th is Zhou, 19th Ocon. Remember, no Logan Sargent. Albon's done a Grand Theft Auto there, nicked his car. So there we go. Verstappen though has just gone 3rd, less within a 10th of the fastest. Interestingly, Perez has gone faster than Perez has pace. That he is doing absolute. And then
still under steering too much. Especially just my front tyres already look great.
I'm not sure. I think
all good news today, Max.
The wrong side of the white line somewhere. I kind of missed that one. I was looking at sort of looking at the timing there. But there we go. So with seconds potentially left now, we've got Piastri and Norris seem to be are out. Hamilton is out on a lap. Currently in the drop. Well, Ricardo, I mean, he's done 2 personal bests as Danny Rick, and Ricardo fans rejoice. He's gone to the top. He's gone 10th, 11th and 12th are the Mercedes. I think they're going to be safe. George Russell's done a fairly fairly solid first sector. Verstappen really struggling. Still talking about understeering too much. And the front tyres, understeering could bode quite well for the race, maybe though. Once again, that Red Bull absolutely horrendously fast in race pace. During practice 2, they did have the fastest race pace as well, closely followed by the Ferrari. Tsunoda though has just gone into 7th, Ricardo 11th. So hopefully Ricciardo keeps it into it. Who's going out? I'm thinking both Hasses, possibly Zhao, who's currently last. We've got both Hasses and possibly both Alpines. So Norris has just gone down to 11th. 13th for Hamilton now. Russell's just gone up to 6th. Well done. 0.3 off. Hamilton's done a very bad first sector. Really off, like a good couple of seconds off. I imagine they probably... They've probably called him, but Daniel Ricciardo, 18th. Now he's gone down to 18th as everyone has improved. Oh, Daniel. He is a Sonoda. He's 6/10. He's over 6/10 slower than Sonoda. He's 6/10 slower than Yuki Tsunoda. I mean, wow. Difference between Hamilton and Russell about half a second. Yeah, I mean Hamilton's completely backed off. I'm hoping that his engineers basically said to him, it looks like Ocon has got himself out of Q1. So it looks like it's, but then, yeah, Ocon 14th currently. Well done. So, checkered flag. I think everyone is now finished. I think Russell, yeah, everyone's now finished. So it's Sainz, Perez, Verstappen, kind of like where we thought that could possibly... Leclerc in 4th with the injury. Imagine Sainz getting pole after his medical issues. That I mean, he needs to do well, doesn't he? He needs to show everyone, please hire me. I am faster than Leclerc. Ferrari should never have got rid of me. Screw you, Lewis. The biggest surprise, Albon in 7th. Zhao's currently last. Bottas 13th. We had news coming out for Bottas, didn't we? About Bottas. The fact that Andrea Seidl did not want him in that Stake F1 team. Did not want him in the Sauber team. Which I thought was kind of harsh. But maybe understandable-ish. Danny Ricciardo out in Q1 for the first time ever in Australia. He had a lap deleted. There you go. That's why then. Well, the rot continues, doesn't it? For Daniel Ricciardo. Oh, come on, Danny Rick. Yeah. Let's quickly get into that Ted Kravitz interview while we're waiting for the next qualifying session. He admits his decision to give Albon Logan Sargent's car not only hurt the American driver, but it may not be the last time. Wow. As they won't have a spare chassis available for Japan.
Okay, Kev,
even though he said this is not going to happen again. Obviously after Albon's crash. Ted Kravitz, he grilled Vowles in the Albert Park paddock on Saturday morning, asking if the potential damage was worth a point. And he said, for the benefit of maybe 1 point, if nothing happens to the RBs or anything like that, Ted, to hurt Logan's confidence and credibility, to undermine your decision, to keep him savage for this year anyway, to maybe damage your relationship with your US owners and US sponsors, and maybe damage your relationship with the fans as well, who many don't think this is a fair decision. Is it really worth it? I mean, wow, that's up there with the spiciest chili in the world, I think, in relation to that question. But yeah, to be fair, Val stuck to his guns. He said, I wouldn't have made the decision if it wasn't, Ted. Val's replied, we hurt an individual whose job it is to perform at the highest level, and anything that stops you from that puts you on the back foot. There's no doubt about it. You were talking about 1 point being nearly nothing or meaning to think. And Kravitz jumped in saying, no, I just said you might score 1 point. I'd say 1 point. I'd never say 1 point is not big. And Vowles responded saying, in that situation, even the probability of scoring a point is what's more important to me at the moment. I have hard decisions to make, and mine is for the well-being of this organisation as a whole. And that is, I'll do everything it takes to score the point if it is available to us. Now, press as to why he decided to completely sacrifice Logan. He said Logan did nothing wrong. He hasn't put a foot wrong. The points are only allocated to the top 10 cars right now. P6 to P10 is 1 point that was scored by Haas as in 10th. At the end of the season, I think a point or two would differentiate championship positions. As a result, with One car, I have to put my best foot forward and cross the year. Alex has had the leading edge over Logan, and with just one car, you put your best statistical chance of scoring a point. I mean, fair play to Ted Kravitz. He gets, some people, I think, wrongly give him a lot of stick, but I mean, I remember, what was it, when Red Bull shunned Sky because of something Ted said, which I thought, for me, came off really bad with Red Bull. What a bunch of babies. You know, he was like kind of giving an opinion that a lot of people thought, rightly or wrongly. And yeah, well, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do there? So 15 out, 15 going out on the track. The people that aren't going out on the track are Hulkenberg, Gasly, Ricciardo, the biggest disappointment of qualifying, for goodness sake, Ricciardo, and Zhou. And at the moment, fair play to Albon and Ocon. Ocon getting out with that horrendous Alpine. I think that's what they're almost like the boost what they needed. Big questions here. Can Hamilton, can those Mercedes get into Q3? I think that is potentially a question. How good can those Aston Martins do? And can Albon get into that top 10? If he is, he'll be a hero. And Jane's vows will be completely justified. My concern was he wouldn't even get into Q2. And at that point, I thought everyone's going to be like, almost like slagging him off. But that's not the case. So we're just waiting for the next part to begin. I mean, Yuki Tsunoda, if he keeps up that kind of performances, Red Bull, there's been lots of talk that Red Bull are not that keen on Yuki Tsunoda, and he's only there because of the Honda team, which I think is kind of unfair, but yeah. About Planet F1 are reporting about 55 minutes ago that Helmut Marko responds to Toto Wolff's Red Bull wobble, which I thought was interesting. As calmness descends at Red Bull, Marko's happy they're getting back to business. On track success is what's needed to hold on to Max Verstappen. Red Bull, as we know, had a turbulent start. And Red Bull investigated the grievance. Horner, we all know about that. Let's not talk about it here. Apparently he did nothing wrong, but we'll see. Because now he may be investigated by the FIA. And there's an appeal. Marko informed the media that he was facing a potential suspension, but while the rivals have not been able to capitalise on Red Bull's tensions, Max obviously has been winning. He's been doing well. And people are now out on the track. Marko says he understands, obviously, if Verstappen is going to be frustrated and wants to go. Wolff adding that trigger for him may be thinking about other options because they have some wobbles going through their team. Wobbles!
Is that George Bye?
Yeah. Negative.
So, but Marco said, thank God it's calming down a bit. It's finally getting back to business as usual. They're just playing Ocon's radio now as he got into Q2. Fair play to Esteban Ocon. I mean, that's lovely, isn't it? Oh no, Sky are not playing that. So. Look at that. We've got live, like, how he's doing. That is amazing. I've never seen that. Sectors. All the sector times there. So, okay. Martin Bundle suggesting that when he saw Carlos Sainz in the paddock, he's still struggling a tiny bit, but we'll see. Guess we'll see how he does. Adrenaline is key, I think, if you're Carlos Sainz and you want to do well. So, I guess we shall see.
You can use more tyre temp long, so you can push on them.
So,
use energy when you can. Use energy.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at that timing, shall we? So we got Verstappen's just done a 1:16.3, easily the fastest time we've seen, as he now cured that excessive understeer. Sainz has gone second, Leclerc third. I mean, Verstappen, that's a fairly fast lap. I think a few people are gonna raise a few eyebrows with that time. Surely, is that gonna make him? That could make him.
No, just stay negative on the delta. We're good for time.
So I mean, they're all. It looks like they're all on they're all on new tyres. Once again, I think the big test is going to be where Albon can he get into the. He's currently a second off Verstappen's time. Can he get into that top 10? Perez has gone 0.3 off Verstappen. I mean, Verstappen really, really solid time there. What are the Aston Martins going to do? And can both Mercedes get in? I can't believe I'd be saying that. Well, I can believe maybe after Saudi Arabia, but after testing in Bahrain, I thought no, absolutely no way. So Verstappen's done a 1:16.387. Sainz in second, just shy of 0.3 off. So, not good. So, current top 10 is Verstappen, Piastri, Sainz, Leclerc, Norris, Perez. Hamilton has gone 7th. That's not going to be good enough, is it? Albon 8th, 9th Ocon. Still to do a... Well, I mean, Russell's done a lap 14 seconds slower than anyone else. Yeah. I remember what was on the groove tyres. They were doing, what, I think 1:30s? And now they're like nearly 15 seconds quicker. It's amazing, isn't it? Back in the late 90s. So Norris currently 5th, whereas Piastri's gone 2nd. Wow. I mean, that is saying something, isn't it? Well done, Piastri. I don't think anyone expected that. I think Hamilton needs a bit of a hurry up. George Russell is
correct.
Fair. I'm trying to work out. He's done. It looks like he's done 2 personal bests. What's he gonna? Oh, we'll see what's he gonna do in that last sector. I can't. Once again, Piastri 2nd. I mean, if you want to out-qualify your team anywhere, it's going to be your home race or Monaco, I think. So. Russell has gone 7th, so 7th and 8th. Who could beat and get in the top 10? Albon's 10th. Who could beat them? Albon's 11th. Tsunoda, maybe? I don't think Bottas and Ocon and Magnussen will get in the top 10. So at the moment, my suggestion that Mercedes might struggle, I think they're fairly safe. I still think if there's not a Mercedes on that 3rd row, they're going to be disappointed. But Verstappen's time looks fairly ominous, maybe? Solid. Perez currently 6th. I mean, if that's the way qualifying ends, that's definitely not going to be good enough for him, is it? No way. Absolutely not. So it's really hard to tell who's.
Okay, mate, understood. We'll have a look.
Let's have a look. So Sainz and Verstappen appear to be on a lap, but Sainz coming across. Try and look at that driver tracker. Toto Wolff doesn't look exactly enthralled. Let's be fair. Hamilton's in the pits. I think if you can get in the 1:16s at the moment, you're fairly safe to get into Q3. We shall see. Fingers crossed. So currently in the zone of trouble, we've got Albon, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Bottas, and Ocon. So in Q2, suddenly the Ferraris do not look as fast, albeit I say that Sainz has just gone purple in Sector 1. So let's follow his lap, shall we? Should just very soon get his sector 2 time, which is a personal best. Verstappen has not improved. He's done all yellows. Sainz could potentially. I think he's on a new set. Could Sainz get Verstappen? Could he lead? I mean, now if Sainz, even if he starts on that front row, that is a massive, especially out qualifying Ferrari's golden boy Charles Leclerc. That is a massive exclamation mark, isn't it? I mean, Leclerc's about 3/10, and Sainz has gone fastest on a 1:16.1. Oh, I guess he's a bit lighter since he's had that appendix out. That's the advantage, surely. Well done, Carlos Sainz. A 1:16.189. Good stuff. Good stuff. Spain. The rain in Spain does not fall in Melbourne at the moment. Melbourne is not the plane. Sainz has gone fastest. Wow. Incredible. Winner worthy Sainz.
Luckily, I'm not behind. Good job there.
If he outqualifies Leclerc,
Leclerc's
about half a second off Sainz. And he is, yes, he's done a personal best, but he's about 3/10 off, I think, in that first sector. He's just gone third, but albeit it's the best part of 4/10 off from his teammate Carlos Sainz. I don't know if he made a mistake or anything, but come on. So well, I did not think that Ferrari were going to be able to challenge that. Really, what I thought was a really solid Max Verstappen lap with that 1:16.387. But alas, I was very much wrong. Carlos Sainz fastest set. Perez, I think he's improved a bit. He's about 4.5 tenths off. And then you've got Lando Norris. Hamilton's 8th. Once again, I think he's going to be safe if he didn't do another lap, albeit it would be a risk. He's currently, I think he's in the pit still, is he? Where is... Yeah. It looks like Lewis Hamilton is still in the pits. George Russell are in the pits. And, Perez has gone from 6th to 5th. Piastri is 4th. Could Piastri get in the top 3? Could he get out in the front row? I think top 3 is not impossible. We are talking half a tenth, and he's ahead of Leclerc. At the moment. But yeah, Charles Leclerc. Kind of disappointing compared to what was happening in practice in P2. Let's have a quick look. A 1:16.7 he did. So yeah, he's only about 2/10 faster than he was in practice too. So I think if Albon qualifies 11th, he will still be a very happy man, in my opinion. So
at 9, 10, 10, just lost everything.
So your top 10.
Well, everything just
currently with
9,
about
10, or
less than 4 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go. Sainz, Verstappen, Leclerc, Piastri, Perez, Norris, Alonso, Russell, Hamilton in 9th, and Stroll in 10th. We've got Albon just outside 11th. He could outqualify Lance Stroll. That'd be funny, I guess. Lance Stroll is about 4/10 ish slower than his more experienced elder statesman teammate. And we've got Tsunoda in 12th, Magnussen 13th, Bottas 14th, and rounding out that top 15 is Ocon. I don't expect Bottas, Ocon or Magnussen to get into that top 10. I think Tsunoda and Albon may have a chance. Fingers crossed. I think both Mercedes are fairly safe, albeit I wouldn't surprise me if they go out again. And I do think Hamilton is out. Yeah, Hamilton's out on a lap as well. So I guess we're going to see in a bit who's got it and who's not to get into that Q2. It'll be interesting to see how much this track improves.
So good transition. So it's track 2, good to go.
So Hamilton, he's Mercedes at 7 and 8/10 off the Ferrari. I don't even think they expected that. It was looking so close in practice number 2. First and second are safe, and let's be fair, we're not seeing signs. I doubt we see signs of players come out again now until Q3. I'm most certain that most people are safe here, other than Lance Stroll, albeit he's only hundreds off Lewis Hamilton's time.
Limit on the safety car line with Bottas.
I mean, Hamilton has done personal best in the first and second sector, but it just seems they're just struggling, aren't they? So, I mean, George Russell's done a slow lap. Obviously, I think that's on purpose. But once again, Alonso, a couple of tenths faster than Lewis Hamilton in that first sector. Mercedes, I mean, Hamilton's gone, yeah, he improved. He improved, but not by much. By like about a tenth. It's just not good enough, is it? For Mercedes, he didn't have a very good last sector. I still think Hamilton will get through. So the grip is coming, though. The grip is coming. Personal best for Charles Leclerc in that first sector. Personal best, though, for both, for Stroll, to be fair. A couple of tenths up on Hamilton in that first sector. Leclerc, a personal best in that second sector. So let's see what he does. Can he? It's gonna be interesting, isn't it? I'm looking, and Leclerc, no, Tsunoda. Oh, that's now this is squeaky bum moment for people as Tsunoda, Lance Stroll has just gone. Lewis Hamilton looks to be out of qualifying. 10th and 11th. I mean, well done to Lance Stroll as Leclerc goes second, making it a Ferrari 1-2. Third, Verstappen, Piastri, but Lewis Hamilton appears to be out of qualifying. That's it. That Mercedes, I mean, bearing in mind, both him and George Russell are so close to each other, hundredths apart, out-qualified by George Russell again. And that car, just looking her, hang your head in shame, not Hamilton, the Mercedes team, because what's going on there? At the moment, Hamilton fully justified for leaving that team. You've got to think. I mean, he's no muppet. He's close enough to George Russell. It's not like like Perez and Verstappen.
We've just been bumped.
Albeit they're only a couple of tenths apart this time round. Yeah, well done, Lance Stroll, for getting in. Fair play to you. Within a tenth of Fernando Alonso. So my prediction that at the beginning of Q2 potentially came right with Hamilton out, Albon out, Bottas, Magnussen and Ocon. Other people are out. So absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. I'm not surprised, but I was kind of like hoping. But Mercedes, who did so well here with a double podium last year. Hamilton out. P11. Sky is saying, how much of a massive shock? The fact that Hamilton's out 8 times. 8 times he's been. And he hasn't qualified higher than 8th of the last 4 races. Has his... You got to start to wonder whether his head has already gone to Ferrari. Negative, we've just been bumped on the radio. Worst qualifying since 2010 when he qualified 11th in the McLaren. That Jenson Button won that race, funnily enough. Wow, I'm still a bit speechless, but there we go. Now, also, what's interesting? Bahrain Sovereign Wealth Fund buys out McLaren. So the Sovereign Wealth Fund, Bahrain, has completed a full takeover of the McLaren Group, which owns a majority share in the company's celebrated Formula One. So in December, McLaren shareholders unanimously approved a full recapitalisation of the business to allow for a simplified and streamlined governance approach. However, so McLaren have been bought out. Finances of the supercar maker have long been under scrutiny. Now, during the pandemic, it took out a $150 million loan with the National Bank of Bahrain, sold a stake in the F1 team, and arranged a lease leaseback deal for its technology centre and cut 1,000 jobs in Woking. Alongside delays to its new hybrid supercar, the Artura, there are reports that Audi, which at the time was evaluating how best to enter, was considering a major investment in McLaren. I think that would have been a much better idea, personally, if they owned, like what Mercedes-Benz did, 40% of McLaren, but that's just me. But the McLaren Group has announced that long-term investor Bahrain Mumtalakat Company has taken a full ownership of the share capital following the conversion of. Oh yeah, Paul Walsh said, "We're delighted, continued commitment. This will enable us to focus on delivering our long-term business plan, including investment in new product technologies, while continuing to explore new partners." Oh, yeah, PR speak. Obviously, Zach Brown's been confirmed. Interesting here, it says here, in the UK House of Lords on Thursday, McLaren's Bahrain ties were raised as part of a debate concerning sports being used to improve the image of countries with poor human rights records. And as part of the debate, Lord Scriven labelled F1 CEO Domenicali as arrogant, having a lack of professionalism and non-engagement for not responding to concerns about the championship racing in states that are attempting to sport wash their image. Scriven added that Domenicali's leadership of F1 is damaging the reputation of his sport as he refuses to engage with the issues around F1 and human rights. Okay, interesting. Controversial, maybe. But the big news coming out of Q2, Hamilton out. Now, looking at the practice 2 times, he was like less than 1:16.8. What did he end up doing? He was slower than his practice 2. I mean, Hamilton out. He was slower than his Q2 time, than his P2 time. He did a 1:16.8. I mean, a 1:16.8 would have got him in ahead of Russell. They're just looking at his lap now on Sky. I'm still a bit of understeer. I'm just absolutely shocked. Wow. And then they got the snap of oversteer as well. First sector, they're saying he was 4/10 down, and that's where it all went. Sky saying, which, yeah, you kind of get, don't you? The car not looking good. Going Chandler on the Sky pad talking about it. Oh, Lewis. I mean, Lewis, massive news. Lewis Hamilton out, knocked out. I've just seen on the timing to KO. It's like a Street Fighter game, isn't it? So, into qualifying, Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen, Piastri, Perez, Alonso, Norris, Stroll, Tsunoda, and Russell. Albon 12th. I think, to be fair, that's 2 places outside the points. That's, for James Vowles, I think that would kind of be justification, won't it, I think, in relation to what they did with Logan Sargent, whether you agree with it or not. I think James Vowles will be happy with that. And that car, even into the penultimate corner, that car looks absolutely horrible. It looks horrendous. And I'm sure Hamilton's going to come out and be very unhappy. Danny Ricciardo, yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they're just showing him running wide in qualifying, which is the reason he's out. I guess when you run wide, you've only got yourself to blame. And he's really far off. He's like over a good tyre width off the line. Wow. I mean, look, Yuki Tsunoda, it was 9th fastest. The worst he's going to be is 10th, 8 places ahead of Danny Ricciardo. What does that say? I mean, well done, Tsunoda. Oh, Ricciardo. Is it a confidence? I mean, is it a confidence thing? Why? Why? Oh, why? Oh, why? I just don't get it. It's just very disappointing. I was so excited when Danny Ricciardo went to McLaren. And then he won a race, didn't he? And then he did 2022. And it was just hard to watch, wasn't it? From the guy that I think, was it Autosport top 50 drivers, was he number 1? It's in 2014. Let's have a look, shall we? Top 50, okay, Autosport, top 50 drivers of 2014. And who is number 1? Oh, Apparently they couldn't find it. Okay. Okay, well, there we go. Oh, Bamba was apparently number 50, if that helps. Number ones. So number one, yeah, Daniel Ricciardo was number one in Hamilton's walking down, head down, as we begin Q3. Yeah, he was number one in 2014. Not part of Q3. I think for me, massive exclamation mark, Mercedes. So, who's getting pole? I would love Sainz to get pole at this point. I mean, that would be amazing. Wouldn't it be great if it was a Ferrari front row? I mean, for the first time this year, you could make an argument now. Is Verstappen favourite for pole? Potentially not. I think it's 60-40 that he doesn't get pole now at the moment. I could be wrong. We kind of, we rightly predicted that the Mercedes are going to struggle to get into Q3. So Williams have chosen to save a new set of soft tyres for the race because they didn't think they didn't think they're going to get into Q3. If they score points, Albon's going to be a hero, and we won't be talking about that Logan Sargent thing. If he crashes out or doesn't get anywhere near the top 10, then maybe not. But there we go. Pressure's on for Alex Albon tomorrow. You can rest easy today. Poor Logan Sargent. I still feel really bad for Logan Sargent in practice. So Oscar Piastri, I think he finished 6th, didn't he? In that session.
And we have the same win as
previous round. If you could qualify Norris, I mean that would be good, wouldn't it? In Australia, could he get in the top 3? I don't think he will. I think the top 3 is going to either be Ferrari or Red Bull. Never say never, though. Never say never. Could he be a hero? So 9 minutes left. I imagine most people are going to do about 2 runs to get their pole. I just saw loads of birds of ducks in that last corner. This guy looking at. So, Carlos Sainz, a 1:16.331. Not the fastest time we had. It was a 1:16.198. A 1:16.8 from George Russell. Half a second off. Slightly better than his Q2 time. Maybe the track is getting a bit better, but not amazing, let's be fair. So I think what's going to be... Leclerc's gone second, about a 10th off. What's going to be really interesting is Verstappen, who's just done 2 purple sectors. So at the moment, he's surely now... I said 60-40. Now it's 64... We'll see. Favourite for pole, I think, at the moment now, to get provisional pole at the very least, is Verstappen. I think is Verstappen. But Perez, Sergio Perez is just on the fastest middle sector. Let's see what Verstappen does. Is he going to top the times? I mean, with even Leclerc, he's a good 10th and a half faster than Leclerc in that middle sector. It's and he does the fastest time of the day, a 1:16, almost as flat, 1:16.048. I can't help but feel there is a 1:16.0 in that Ferrari. Sergio Perez potentially going up to second, I'd imagine. And Sergio Perez goes 4th. What happened in that last sector? I mean, yeah, he was about 10th. Yeah. So, George Russell down to 7th. Not Sonoda 1.3 off. That's not very good, is it? So, what are Ferrari going to do? Leclerc is nearly 4 tenths off. Well, I mean, fair play. If Verstappen gets pole, you've got to say... Qualifying man of the day. Okay, Russell, they're saying Russell was on used tyres. Fair enough then. Okay, so maybe he can be a bit better on the qualifying front.
I know the front left into the final sector.
I mean, I think when you look at the top four at the moment, that's pretty much going to be one way. Maybe not that in the exact order, but that's going to be our top four for qualifying. Norris fifth, Piastri sixth. A good 3/10. Yeah, a good couple of 2.5 tenths slower than Norris. You can't help but feel he needs to. He really needs to improve, doesn't he? So. Alonso, I think, had a bit of a disastrous lap. Going into turn 6, he just turned the wheel and it wasn't happening. He lost the car in turn 6. Okay, fair enough then. Yes, he was. In 2001, Marcus Schumacher went upside down. Martin Brundle said. I remember watching that in one of the practice sessions. So. A lot of gravel, a lot of dust. So. So your top 10, Verstappen, Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Norris, Piastri, Russell, Tsunoda and Alonso and Stroll, who's now, I think, on track. Yeah, he's the only one on track. I think maybe he's just doing the run. I think, maybe. So I think Verstappen is potentially destroyed hopes of getting pole. Yeah, Piastri making that mistake coming out of turn 10, which I think is one of the reasons for the gap to Norris. So, one run left. Is George Russell coming out now? Russell's just come out as well. I think he's going to be doing his lap before all the excitement. What can Russell do? I mean, I think if Russell gets in the third row, that is going to be a good thing. As Lance Stroll has now started his fast lap, so let's see what he can do. Potentially, he could out qualify Alonso. Come on! Formula One needs a different pole sitter. Formula One needs that Ferrari on pole, because I think that's the only one that's going to be able to beat Verstappen. So Verstappen's coming out now as well. George Russell I think he's just coming into the final sector to start his lap. Stroll's done a 26.4 in sector 1. I'm still sure that Lewis Hamilton's out. I mean, we kind of predicted Mercedes are going to struggle to get into Q3. I wanted to be wrong, but there we go. Pierre Gasly went over the white line, I think, in Q1, and they're looking at a potential penalty as well. So Stroll is just about to come across the line. Russell's to start his lap, and Stroll goes, drumroll, 8th. So he's faster than stage, 1.1 seconds off Verstappen's time. But here we go. So we have now got Russell, who let's see where Russell is. He is just coming. We'll get that first sector anytime soon from Russell. At the moment, he's 8 tenths off, which is obviously not good enough. So you really want a low 26, don't you? And he's done a 31.1. So something's happened. Something went wrong there. He's about. We got 2 minutes left. Pretty much everyone's coming out on track now for the last gasp at qualifying here in Melbourne. So I want to say kind of average for Lance Stroll. But in the top 10, to be fair, I mean, I think that's the best qualifying so far he's done this year. So, somewhat ominous, Verstappen has just done a purple in Sector 1. And sigh, and breathe. Oh well. Stroll, they're showing a replay, and Stroll was all over the place coming in that chicane in turn 9. Definitely a squeaky bum moment. Okay, Sainz has just done the fastest Sector 1. Come on, Carlos. Okay, Verstappen, a personal best. Perez, once again, a fastest Sector 2. I'm wondering, Sainz, he's about a tenth off Verstappen now in Sector 2 is Sainz. So it's going to be all about that final sector. Both for... So, let's see, shall we? Leclerc only, okay, that's a 1:59 from Verstappen. Fastest final sector. Absolutely amazing. Leclerc should be coming up. Perez has gone second. It's all gone pear-shaped for Ferrari. Yeah, because I can't see even Leclerc doing it. Sainz, though, has gone second. Sainz has gone second. Where can Leclerc go? He is, let me see, he's about a tenth and a half, I think. Sainz. So it looks like Verstappen's getting pole unless Leclerc cuts corners. Norris has just gone fourth. He's now ahead of Leclerc. So he's finally sorted out that Red Bull as Charles Leclerc is now on the last straight. He's coming down. And what's happened? Has he gone in the pits? Yeah, I think he's gone in the pits. Has Leclerc? That's it. Did he? Yes, he has. Leclerc is fifth. Carlos Sainz has outqualified Charles Leclerc. Wow. I mean, Norris is fourth. Piastri sixth. Russell seventh on a 1:16.7. So he improved by a couple of tenths.
Leclerc, Piastri.
Wow. I mean, I think that's pretty much your top 10 now, isn't it? A 1:15.9. I mean, well done, Verstappen. It looked like it wasn't a guarantee. It looked like they were struggling. And he's done it. So it's Verstappen, Sainz, Perez, Norris, Leclerc in fifth, Piastri, Russell, Tsunoda, Stroll, and Fernando Alonso. The top 10 biggest surprises here. I think fair play to Albon being 12th. Fair play for Stroll getting in the top 10. What was going on with Hamilton? What was going on with Daniel Ricciardo? Massive disappointment there with an exclamation mark. So George Russell 7th, 8 tenths off. Not too bad. Charles Leclerc, massive disappointment there as well. I think, yeah, not happy with his performance, really. Bearing in mind, he was up there with Carlos Sainz. And Lance Stroll outqualifies Fernando Alonso. But Tsunoda in 8th.
Good job, Checo.
Wow.
P3.
10 places ahead of Daniel Ricciardo.
Good starting place for tomorrow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much us then for the session. I just want to say, for the couple of people watching, thank you very much. I'm trying to get used to this. So I really appreciate that, and we'll speak to you soon. But thank you very much. I really, really enjoyed doing this. I don't quite think we'll be here for the race, but there we go. I'll be doing a qualifying winners and losers. That video will probably be out within the next hour. And there we go. Thank you, and speak to you soon.